Welcome to the first edition of Under the Golden Dome with the 2023 legislative session. And boy, what a start it has been. I'm going to cover the three things you need to know about what happened this week and talk a bit about what we expect to happen in the next week. First, lots of new faces. There are 53 new members. That's a third of the legislative body who have not previously served or are in the legislature. So we're spending a lot of time trying to get to know all of these people, figure out where they're from, and develop those relationships. We're on the same ground and the same footing as almost every other lobbyist up there. I will say that at least one time we saw a doorman deny entry to a new legislator because they didn't realize they were a new legislator. So that was kind of the funny story. The second thing you need to know is things are moving fast for education. Very, very, very fast. The governor unveiled her education platform in her State of the State on Tuesday night. We sent an update that gave you a summary of her proposal. And in the meantime, the Senate has had its first subcommittee, probably the only subcommittee, on her vouchers, or as they like to call it, scholarship proposal. That was held today. The House is having a public hearing on her proposal next Tuesday and intends to move her proposal as quickly as they can as well. So all of a sudden, we're seeing education really dominating the first week, and I think it's going to continue to be that way for the next couple of weeks. We've got a number of education-related bills that have been introduced by a majority of the House Republican caucus that kind of signal what their priorities are beyond the governor's education reform platform, and I expect we'll see more starting to drop in the Senate once they ultimately pass her voucher proposal, which we still anticipate. Which leads me to the third thing, vouchers. Obviously, that's the word of the week. That's the topic of the week. The Senate will, as they have in prior years, be able to pass that relatively easily. There has been a lot of discussion and focus, however, on the House, which continues to be problematic for the governor to achieve her objective. There's a lot of folks thinking, oh, it's over, the fight is over, we've already lost. Well, let me just point out, you don't do a $100,000 ad buy promoting the governor's education reform and asking them to contact House Republicans if you're assured that this thing is going to pass. Number one, you don't bring in a lot of lobbyists and extra people from out of state because of all the out-of-state interests that have been pushing for vouchers if you think this is a done deal. I can guarantee you that it's not a done deal. Does that mean we will prevail in the end? It's too early to tell. But right now, they don't have the votes to pass it, and we need to continue to talk about why it's a bad public policy for Iowa. We're going to be sending out more information in board briefs, so I encourage you to take a look at that and contact your legislators. But here's what I want to tell you. Here's the takeaway. The governor's proposal, because it includes the ability to count students who are enrolled in public schools who would have otherwise been in private schools who would have otherwise been enrolled in the public schools, or those who leave the public schools to go to the private schools, will get to count them for the tune of $1,200 a person. Now that's going to help school districts that have private schools in their area. It's not going to help the majority of our school districts. Number two, they're claiming that they're giving us categorical flexibility. Well, surprise, surprise. Actually, the flexibility that they're giving us to use ending fund balances for any general fund purpose, including teacher salary supplement, has been in law since 2017. This is not new flexibility. It's what we already have. So watch for board briefs, watch for the complete action request, and help us keep those House Republicans who have said no to vouchers in the past on our side.